Yeah. Okay, here's a video of our new rifle. This is a 300 Win Mag. It's a Remington 700 long range that we've got. This thing comes with standard with Bell & Carlson stock, so it has aluminium inside an aluminium bed inside the composite stock. And we've basically been through a couple of changes with the thing to make it work like we wanted it to. Before we picked it up from the gun dealer, we got the end threaded, the barrel threaded. Something we could do, but easier to get a gunsmith to do it. And then we've actually been through and started to do some work with it. We've got a 40 MOA base on it with 20 MOA ultralight Night Force rings, and then we've got the Attacker Night Force scope, and that's all come up and set up really nicely. That actually, as factory zeroed, actually was spot on with this setup, so we should have a full 120 minutes of adjustment out of this setup. On there is one of the US Optics anti-cant bubbles. You screw that off to see your anti-cant bubble inside there. Screw it on and fold it away. We've got one of the bolt-on bolt enlargers, so it's got a nice big bolt on the thing, just make it a bit easier to function. And then we've got essentially just one of these velcroed on rear cheek rests, so it keeps it as a simple rifle with a simple stock. Down the bottom there's a little bit of one of my own little bits which I've made to just make it a little bit easier, so it sits up a bit higher on the bags, makes it a bit easier for me being a larger bloke. And there's some weight in there too. This is fairly heavy steel pipe, so it's got some weight to it. We've got the Atlas bipod. We put on Picatinny rail with just a couple of screws in through the bottom here. And then we've got up the front here my own custom made, I've actually machined it up on a mill in a muzzle brake. All designed to see how it all works well. It's got some angles in it and things to try and make it give a little bit of downforce and really to stop the as much of the whack that we get out of it for being able to get back on the target and make it nice to shoot. And this is working quite nicely. Seems to sit really nicely with very little muzzle jump. It's nice to shoot, it's not whacking at all, and working quite well at the moment. Just a design that I'm sort of working on just to make things work as well as I can, but been fairly happy with it. It's also solid steel, so there has a bit of mass to that as well. So the overall weight of the gun now is up on just on 16 pounds. So for the 300 Win Mag, it's pretty nice to actually shoot. There's a little bit more we'll do. I'm going to get a decent size magazine, and we'll probably upgrade the trigger as well. It's a little bit sort of on again, off again, a little bit firm and on some shots, and just a normal factory trigger. Not perfect, but it's okay. We see in the back here, behind here, is the actual group that we pulled off today. Up in there, that's not bad. You know, that's actually, if we look at this, we're in the listen, at worst you'd say it's half MO group, but really back down in around the done properly. What do we got? Yeah, just on the 0.4 MOA, so not perfect yet. It was just shot off the bag, but not terrible, and it certainly has been improving with all the bits and pieces we've done to it. Another thing we've done is in the bullets. Went through, I'll set them both up so you can see them clearly. I'll see if I can set them both up so you can see them clearly. Okay, that's actually the difference between the factory 300 Win Mag load and our load. So essentially it's running the bullet a lot further out to come up to the bullet jumps. That's a 215 grain bullet, Burger bullet. I will run a 230 grain when I can get them. Can't get them in the country at the moment, but we've got our order in. But that's the 215 grain, so very good ballistics, and as you can see the bullet has a lot more length to it, and that's one of the things that we'll be keeping in mind when we get our magazine, something that can carry a bullet with that combined overall length. Anyway, that's a view of the rifle out here. I'm pretty happy. It's a pretty simple looking rifle with and at this stage it's shooting pretty well.
Good shot, less than 1 inch. Four o'clock. Less than 1 inch. One o'clock, oh sorry, 11 o'clock, 1